Thank you, Rod. Brett Anderson, a first-year man out of Simon Fraser University, will kick it off. And back deep for the Calgary Stampeders, Terry Vaughn and Marvin Coleman. This is Vaughn taking the ball at his 18-yard line. Terry Vaughn looking for some room to run, gets out across the 30 to the 32, and that's where the Calgary Stampeders will start their first possession. Starting lineups tonight are brought to you by Midas. 27-year-old Jeff Garcia in his 4th year, coming off his 2nd consecutive 25 touchdown season a year ago. Last week, 1 touchdown pass, 1 interception against the Edmonton Eskimos. Joining him, Terry Vaughn and Travis Moore outside. Joseph Rogers, Gerald Wilcox, insider newcomers. Kelvin Anderson, the CFL Rookie of the Year there as well. The offensive line has Fred Childress and Rocco Romano, all Canadians a year ago, on the right side. On first down, fake to Kelvin Anderson. Garcia swinging it out, gets it there for Vince Danielson, and Danielson has the catch. Quickly driven out of bounds up around the 35-yard line, a pickup of 6 yards. Coach Wally Buono's team, after a loss in its opener for only the 2nd time since Wally took over in Calgary. And on the other side is Adam Rita, the BC Lions. Rita says it's tough to be back on the sidelines after a couple of years up on the booth. He says, I'm better in the spotter's box. What I got to learn is to do less when I'm down on the sidelines. Now 2nd and 4 after Danielson's first catch. And Garcia again on play action. This time goes the other way to Danielson, makes the catch, and has the first down. Robert Holland up to make the stop, but Vince Danielson, who did not dress last week, back in the lineup, has back-to-back pickups of 6 yards.
And Vince Danielson's had a back problem. He had suffered in the first preseason game for Calgary this year, and it's been bothering him for the last 2 weeks, but he's back in the lineup. He'll be used sparingly throughout this football game, but you'll see him a lot in the 5R situation.
First round pick of the Stamps in '94, back home in Vancouver where he played university football at UBC. First down from the 43-yard line. Kelvin Anderson's first carry sees him go up to the 45-yard line and no further. Johnny Scott and Joe Fleming come up to make the stop after a gain of a yard.
Well, Johnny Scott is the guy that Adam Rita hopes will become his dominant rush man. He's up there with Virgil Robertson, Dave Chaters, and Joe Fleming. Tyrone Chapman anchors the middle of that linebacking core. And in the secondary, the one change sees Eddie Thomas playing the halfback position for the injured Andre Strode. Strode blew out his knee in the first game and is likely gone for the year.
2nd and 9. And Garcia from the shotgun. Lots of time for Garcia. Now looking back across the middle, he finds Terry Vaughn up around midfield. Vaughn takes a couple of shots as he dives to the first down marker, and they'll mark him just shy of midfield, which should give him a first down, but Terry Vaughn paid the price.
That's good flexibility here by Jeff Garcia to roll all the way to one side of the football field and have the presence of mind to look back, because when he came to the front side, everyone was covered. The Lions secondary did a pretty nice job to the play side of this play. But Garcia has the time, looks back and finds Vaughn dragging across the middle.
And Vaughn does have the first down, so the Stamps keep the drive alive just on their own side of midfield. Garcia again from the shotgun. Anderson swings out, takes the pass from Garcia. Now here comes Kelvin Anderson inside the 40-yard line, and a big hit there from Greg Ferris, the safety, but Anderson has a big gain down to the 36-yard line, a pickup of 18 yards.
Well, this is one thing that Calgary was real happy with in that first game, and that's the running game, and Anderson in particular. He had 90 yards against Edmonton in week 1. They were pretty happy with the way they could run the football against a good Edmonton defense.
As we mentioned, the Rookie of the Year 1 year ago. Last season, he rushed for 1,068 yards and added 300 more receiving yards. This time up the middle, he gets a gain of 3 yards. Kelvin Anderson scored 14 touchdowns last year. That was 2nd in the league to Robert Drummond of the Toronto Argonauts. A rookie year for him.
And Wally Buono said when he came into training camp, he was even a step quicker. Seemed like he had better vision and better understanding of what he was expected to do in the offense, and came into camp in great shape.
He's the lone man back. Now in motion as Garcia remains in the shotgun. 4-man rush, lots of time for Garcia. Once again has a man open, gets Travis Moore. And Moore down to the 23-yard line has another Calgary Stampeder first down. The 4-man rush getting next to no pressure on Jeff Garcia.
No, you're going to see BC come with a little more heat than that. You see Joe Fleming coming off the edge, and Curse Burns does a nice job of holding him up. That gives Garcia time to find more on that out pattern, and the newcomer, Eddie Thomas, gone after him a couple times early. First down, Calgary. Garcia looking to the end zone. Moore
right at the pylon, touchdown. Travis Moore working on Eddie Thomas, brings it down, and the Calgary Stampeders score on their opening possession just like that.
Now, Gordon, when you talk to coaches, they always tell you that, listen, there was an injury in the secondary last week for BC. Are you going to try to exploit it? And they'll always say no. They say the game plan will take us, what the read takes us, that's where we throw the ball. But this is the second play in a row that they've gone right after Eddie Thomas, who was in for Andre Strode, like we mentioned in the opening, and pretty good coverage, but Travis Moore does a nice job to go up and pull that one away from the newcomer.
A 23-yard touchdown reception for Travis Moore. Jeff Garcia goes 6 for 6 on the opening drives for 74 yards. So if he was rattled by the last-second loss to Edmonton, he's certainly not showing it. Now the Calgary Stampeders with a procedure penalty on the point after. That'll move Mark McLaughlin back 10 yards, but this shouldn't be a problem for the CFL's most accurate kicker over the past 3 years. And the Calgary Stampeders burst right out of the gate. Wally Buono had said before this game that his team's start would be so important after the tough loss of a week ago. McLaughlin puts it up and good. And the Calgary Stampeders have a 7-0 lead on the BC Lions, and the Lions will get their first touch when the CFL Live returns to BC Place right after this. Were through the air, 2 of them on the ground, and it didn't take the Calgary Stampeders long to burst out to a 7-0 lead.
No, and you're right. Jeff Garcia showed a lot of poise in that drive. A couple times he didn't have his initial read, had to go backside. Did a real good job of finding open receivers and delivering the football.
Now Mark McLaughlin to kick it off. On the right-hand side of your screen is Al Shipman. On the left is Corey Philpott. And McLaughlin kicks it away. This is Shipman from the 14-yard line. Al Shipman has electrifying speed, trying to get around the corner. He cannot. He gets out to the 33-yard line, and Alondra Johnson quick to make the stop. A 20-yard return of a 61-yard kickoff. Damon Allen, the 33-year-old, in his 13th CFL season, was 17 for 28 last week with 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Last season posted his best passing percentage in his CFL career. He's joined by Larry Thompson and Mike Trevathan, Al Shipman and Alfred Jackson, Corey Philpott and Sean Millington in the backfield. Up front, a couple of changes. Mark Hatfield's in at left guard in place of Jamie Terrace, who's a backup today, still nursing a knee injury. Corey Philpott got whacked by Alondra Johnson. Got a gain of maybe a yard, but Corey Philpott really took a shot there from his former teammate, Alondra Johnson.
Yeah, and Corey Philpott loves to run the football. He's used more in the Adam Rita type of offense as a receiving back. But he's in there in the office with Adam Rita every day saying, you know, I like it when you just hand it to me.
Give me the rock.
Now, if that happens too often in the game where that Calgary D-line stands him up like that, he might change his mind.
Now he's lined up in a receiver position. Allen back to throw. Up the sideline he goes. Nobody there. Al Shipman broke to the post, and Damon Allen threw it to the flag, and miscommunication on the first possession. The Lions are 2 and out.
Well, that's what happens sometimes when you use a lot of that spread offense or different formations. That time Al Shipman was lined way out wide. Now, when he's in that wide receiver position, that's something he's not used to. He has to be on the same page with his quarterback. He wasn't on that play. Damon Allen thought he was running the corner out to the sideline, and he ran a post.
And Lou Pasaglia is back to punt in his 22nd CFL season. Marvin Coleman back to receive. Good kick by Pasaglia. This is Vaughn from the 33-yard line. Gets a block, trying to get around the corner. And he takes a hard bump as he gets up to the 39-yard line. A 43-yard punt. And a return of 7. Sean Millington down to make the stop.
First down.
And he got some help as well from Peter Miller. On comes Jeff Garcia, who is perfect for the evening so far. 6 for 6 passing and a perfect strike to Travis Moore to get Calgary on the board.
It was a really great throw, and the reason it is because he had the confidence to throw it in there. You see that Eddie Thomas was really step for step with Travis Moore, but Jeff Garcia has the confidence in his receiver, delivered a strike.
5 receiver package in again for Calgary. Here comes the rush. Garcia gets it away to Danielson just as he got hit. And then Dave Chaters is one of the Lions who unloads on the receiver, Danielson, up to the 49-yard line. Garcia got that off just as Johnny Scott unloaded on him.
Yeah, and Jeff Danielson is definitely going to help Jeff Garcia in this zone defense. Whenever BC plays a zone, Danielson has the presence of mind to find the holes, and he did that time, and Scott just hit him late.
Second and short. Garcia goes straight ahead as he runs into Joe Fleming, but he should have the first down as he gets across the Calgary side of the 50-yard line. Well, the Calgary Stampeders were uncharacteristic of the team we've seen for the last 5 years or so. Last week, 10 penalties for 79 yards. The Stamps were the least penalized team in the league last year, giving up a lead in the fourth quarter, quite unlike Calgary, a team that is generally a lock with the lead. So some changes in the offseason in Calgary have maybe changed the personality of this team a little bit.
Well, Wally Buono said that it was discipline that lost him that football game.
First down, Garcia, lots of time, and had a man wide open at the sideline. Couldn't get it over there as he was trying to hit Travis Moore, but he's not that big. And Garcia is still shaking that hand after the hit from Johnny Scott a couple of plays ago, and I wonder if we'll see Dave Dickinson at any point, who has not yet thrown a pass in the Canadian Football League, but the heir apparent to the Calgary quarterbacking crown.
Yeah, and Dave Dickinson looked good in the preseason. In fact, was Calgary's offensive player of the game in both preseason games.
Garcia has time, now fires it over the middle. Vince Danielson makes the catch into BC territory at the 46-yard line. Greg Frere's there on the coverage, but a pickup of 14 yards, and Danielson, quick out of the gate, has 4 catches here in the first quarter.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about earlier. Vince Danielson has experience in the league. This is his 4th year, and he was behind a pretty good one in Dave Sapunjas for all 4. So I'm sure he learned a lot over that time, and he knows how to read the defenses, and he'll give his quarterback a big target throughout this game.
Now the toss to Kelvin Anderson. Anderson tries the near side, gets out around the corner inside the 40. David Neva comes up to make the tackle after a pickup of 7 yards.
Kelvin Anderson gets a little toss here from Jeff Garcia and does what he does best, and that's just take it upfield. When you lower that, you got to dip that right shoulder and kind of deliver a blow on the tackling defensive back, and that was David Mieva who comes up, and he's pretty small for a linebacker, 210 pounds.
Well, he's one of those tweeners, as you call them,
Yep.
the defensive back who plays the linebacking spot, and that position was really pioneered by the Calgary Stampeders, who put Daryl Hall into that position. He's still playing there, and probably the prototype. There's an injured Calgary or BC Lion on the play, and it looks like Damian Lyons, the corner, is injured, and would be a tough blow for the BC Lions.
No question about that, Gordon. That's what happened to this BC team last week when they lost Andre Strode from the secondary. Frank Pimskern had to come in and play the halfback position. He's the backup safety. Now, if Damian Lyons is out, what they'll likely have to do is move Eddie Thomas, who is new at halfback, out to the corner and put Frank Pimskern in at halfback. So it's going to be a vanilla defense probably the rest of the way out for BC if Damian Lyons can't come back.
6:20 to play in the first quarter. We'll take a break and return to the CFL Live at BC Place right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up.
Could be a hip pointer he suffered stuffing that run by Kelvin Anderson. So as a result, the Lions have had to make some changes.
Second and 3 Stampeders.
Now playing the corner is Robert Holland, number 22, plays the corner on the near side. Garcia looks that way right away to Travis Moore. That time David Mieva comes up to make the stop.
Garcia's pass.
So as soon as Jeff Garcia saw the newcomer come in at the corner, he went to that side.
Yeah, he was the inside receiver on the play, the slot back position. They'll mix it up. Travis Moore usually lines up as a wideout, but this time he's here and he'll just run the little out pattern right there. And you see with Robert Holland on the corner, he turns his back and doesn't see Travis Moore come to the flat. Mieva has to make the tackle.
Now on first down, Garcia, all kinds of time over the middle again to Travis Moore down to the 25-yard line. And that time Maurice Kelly, the linebacker on the other side, has to come up and make the stop. And Jeff Garcia is dissecting this BC defense.
Well, this is what you have. When you get an injury in the secondary, you play a lot of zone defense and keep it simple. Jeff Garcia knows that, so this is what he's going to look for, the dump passes underneath the zone coverage.
Now the extra defensive back is in for BC. Mark Pimskern comes up. Garcia looking again for Travis Moore, third straight time, and that time Robert Holland and Eddie Thomas come up to make the stop.
Well, but Garcia did what he wanted to do in the first series, got some points out of it. Now he's coming out and Mark McLaughlin come on the field and get points in the second drive. And you really just want to get those points on the board early.
There's Robert Holland, who said he'd like to be the Canadian Football League commissioner. He's formally applied for the job, but he says he was going to tell the league yesterday he has to know right away because there's other things he's interested in. The Toronto Maple Leafs need a general manager. There's the baseball commissioner gig. So there's a lot of things he's looking at. Right now he's out there trying to stop Mark McLaughlin from making it a 10-point Calgary lead. McLaughlin from 32 yards out misses it to the right. Al Shipman will concede the single point. And the Calgary lead that was 7 is now 8. 8-0 Calgary leads. Back to BC Place after this.
In the CFL tonight in Winnipeg, the Bombers had trailed Montreal 21-7, but 2 Ronald Williams touchdowns has Winnipeg right back in it in the 4th. Back to BC Place.
Here, Calgary leads BC by a score of 8-0, and the edge in play has been much more one-sided than that. BC Lions have 1 yard in total offense in the game so far to Calgary's 123.
Wow.
Start at their 35. Here comes the blitz. Allen gets it away, looking for Al Shipper, looking rather for Alfred Jackson. He's got it out across the 50 to the 51-yard line, well covered. But Jackson able to make the catch and pick up the first down after a gain of 16. Al Jordan up to make the stop. Here's a look at the Calgary D.
Well, up front, it's Ernie Brown, Jeff Traversy, and Dwayne Patterson, along with Marvin Big Daddy Pope. Linebacking core, Alondra Johnson, Anthony McClanahan, and Daryl Hall. And in the secondary, the same one that finished the 96 season, Greg Knox as a safety, and all-stars Al Jordan and Marvin Coleman on the corner.
Here's Corey Philpott on the toss. Alondra Johnson slowed him up long enough. They get some help. Kenton Leonard came up to make the tackle along with Daryl Hall. This Calgary defense led the CFL in interceptions a year ago. Alondra Johnson had 4 of them, but the all-star corners, Al Jordan and Marvin Coleman, were 1-2 in the Canadian Football League. Jordan had 8. Coleman had 7. Calgary had 32 interceptions last year to lead the league.
Well, they like to play a lot of zone defense, and when you do as a corner, you can sit back and look at the quarterback, read the offensive plays, and they got a lot of picks.
Now Allen looking over the top, has a man, Philpott, and the pass is over his head. Great matchup, Corey Philpott, one-on-one with linebacker Daryl Hall, but the pass was just out of his reach.
Well, Daryl Hall may be the best tweener, as we call him, in the game right now because he's got the size to stop the run, and he can also run outside, but this is pretty good speed by Corey Philpott down the sideline. One of the fastest guys in the league, and even a good tweener can't run that quick.
Everybody! Thank you. The veteran Lou Pasaglia back to punt, and back deep to receive Terry Vaughn and Marvin Coleman. Gets another good kick away. This is Vaughn from the 20. Terry Vaughn up the middle. Here he comes. Vaughn trying to get outside, and one man stood between him and the goal line. David Mava came up to make the stop. A 20-yard return of a 40-yard Lou Pasaglia punt, and the Calgary offense comes back out with Kelvin Anderson. Anderson last week had 90 yards rushing, and Wally Buono says this guy could turn into the most complete back in the Canadian Football League. A guy who's equally threatening out of the backfield, carrying the ball or catching it.
Yeah, and he's coachable. You hear that term a lot from coaches, and what that means is that when you tell him a change up in the offense, he picks it up quickly and he works hard at perfecting it.
On first down, Garcia has Vince Danielson again, and Danielson leaps up close to the 50-yard line. Frank Pimmiskern comes up to make the stop, and Danielson has his 5th catch of the game and should be close to another Calgary Stampeder first down. And what a homecoming for Vince Danielson.
Yeah, well, Wally Buono told us that he would be used sparingly in this game.
Wally lied.
That's his 5th catch. Vince Danielson using that 5-receiver package for the Calgary Stampeders, and like we talked about earlier with BC playing that zone defense, you need the experience in the inside to be able to find the holes, sit down, and give your quarterback a target. And Danielson has been the #1 target for Garcia so far.
Vince Danielson Danielson went back a little bit last year. 43 catches for just over 500 yards and 3 touchdowns. His number's actually down from the year before. So this year, Vince Danielson trying to establish himself as the full-time threat in Calgary, and a great opportunity for him with Alan Pitts and Dave Sapunjis both out of the Stampeder lineup.
And he worked really hard here in Vancouver, as a matter of fact, on a training program in the offseason, knowing that he would be the guy this year at that slot back position.
Stamps just shy of a first down at 2nd and inches. And if you're a gambling man, you might think of going over the top here. Garcia will take it straight ahead, dive across the 50-yard line, and he's got another Calgary Stampeder first down.
Just to go back to that thought on Vince Danielson, Gord, he trained here in the offseason in a club that I played squash at. We trained together a little bit, this offseason.
Yeah.
We did a little working out together.
Here's your towel, Mr. Danielson. Is that kind of what it was like?
Yeah, can I get you any more water? That was basically. I did a lot of watching. He did a lot of training.
You got squashed, am I right?
I got squashed.
They don't call it squash for nothing.
No, he worked really hard. It was a very intense program, and he was in great shape for camp, and just had the misfortune of the back injury, but looks like he's okay tonight.
On first down, Garcia, lots of time, over the top, trying to get it there to Joseph Rogers, who is trying to draw the penalty. Coverage there by Leonard Humphreys, but the pass falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Leonard Humphreys may be the BC Lions' best cover man when he gets in the one-on-one and in press situations, and that time Joseph Rogers took off. Humphreys picked him up in his zone. When you get into that zone, it's your man. He picks him up, and I couldn't believe the way Joseph Rogers twisted back to get down. Almost came up with the kick.
2 guys who were teammates in Ottawa last year,
right.
hooking up there, both picked by these teams in the dispersal draft. 2nd down, Garcia trying to set up the screen. He's in trouble, and he is down. Maurice Kelly.
Garcia sacked behind the line of scrimmage by number 11, Kelly.
A loss of 16 yards. Jeff Garcia wanted the screen pass, but it wasn't there. And now there's a flag down to the play. And we'll see if the Stampeders get a second chance here.
Well, Gord,
BC number 11. First down.
Kelly gets called for the face mask.
well, the Lions sent the kitchen sink at Calgary on that play. Maurice Kelly and David Mieva came from the linebacker position, took off on the blitz, and Maurice Kelly got there. He's up here and comes off the edge, and he gets there. The problem is he grabs Garcia's face mask. You see both linebackers on the rush, including Eddie Thomas from his halfback position. Full out blitz by BC, and there's a blatant face mask by Maurice Kelly.
Wow, instead of a loss of 16 yards, the penalty sends the Stampeders down to the 44. It's a net of 31 yards for Calgary. Garcia under pressure, wanted to get it to Danielson, but the closest man to the play was Robert Holland. And once again, Johnny Scott, the man there with the hit on Jeff Garcia.
He is making his presence known, and Johnny Scott's coming from the inside of that tackle position. Garcia has time initially, but the front side of the play is covered. Has to step up in the pocket, and that's when Scott has a chance to get on him. And he hurt his hand earlier on just barely getting there, and that time Scott pulls him to the ground.
Now 2nd down from the 44-yard line. Garcia, lots of time initially, and now he's in trouble, and he is down. Joe Fleming gets the sack as Jeff Garcia just waited too long.
Sorry, Gord, but guess who made the play? Johnny Scott. He came up the middle, and he got the initial pressure on Jeff Garcia, and he flushed him to Joe Fleming. That's why Fleming gets the sack. Here comes Scott from this position right here. He's the one who's going to flush him out of the pocket. Look at the move right there on the big chill. Flushes him out of the pocket, and here comes Fleming, and he'll pick up the stat, but Johnny Scott made the play.
Tony Martino is on to punt, what should be the final play of this opening quarter. Al Shipman and Larry Thompson are back deep to receive. Low kick by Martino. This is Thompson from his 11. And Thompson out to the 14-yard line. A 38-yard punt, a return of a couple. The Calgary Stampeders with an 8-0 lead, but the BC Lions will have the ball when we come back. But right now, we'll send you back.
We've all noticed between the early in the game was pressure on Garcia. Now back to BC Place.
Damon Allen's lost the football in the end zone. It's a safety for Calgary. forced to give up 2. It could have been a lot worse, but the second quarter opens with the BC Lions surrendering 2 points to the Calgary Stampeders. Last week, miscommunication between center and quarterback on the shotgun snap was the problem. He just lost it here trying to give it to Millington.
Well, what happened was he was going to fake it to Millington, Gord, and when he went to put it in the hip and pull it out, it actually hit Sean Millington's hip. You're going to see the ball right there. It hits the hip of Millington, and that's how it hits the turf. And Damon Allen did a good job just recovering it.
Famous play by the BC Lions. It's called Sally Ran. In fact, it's an Adam Rita-inspired play. And what it is basically is it's a running play, but the quarterback can pull the ball out and take off on his own. So the running back doesn't know if he's getting the ball or not. And it may have been a late decision by Allen that time. As a result, the Calgary Stampeders now have a 10-0 lead, and the BC Lions will have to kick them the football. And while we have a moment, let's take a look at the numbers from the first quarter. And Rod Smith alluded to it a moment ago. Look at the time of possession. 11:52 for the Calgary Stampeders to 3:08 for the BC Lions. Total yards 128 to 16 for the Calgary Stampeders against the BC Lions.
Yeah, and the panel, Gord, was talking about why the BC Lions seem to be caught off guard with that 5 receiver pack for the Calgary Stampeders. I don't know that they're caught off guard so much as they have an injury to Damian Lyons in the secondary. They have to play vanilla back there. Plus, they feel with David Mieva and Maurice Kelly in at linebacking positions, they don't have to make substitutions to take care of the 5th receiver.
Kickoff is taken short by Marvin Coleman at the 20-yard line. Here comes Coleman up the middle and out across the 40. He gets to the 43-yard line. Greg Frères comes up to make the stop. So the Stampeders have a 10-0 lead, and they get the ball right back in good field position. Jeff Garcia and company like their situation right now.
And I think we can put an end to any rumor that's out there that Jeff Garcia has a confidence problem. I think that's over. I mean, I have never seen him look like he has a lack of confidence, including tonight.
Only Doug Flutie and Ken Austin threw more touchdown passes than Jeff Garcia did last year.
No, he can get it done. No question.
From the shotgun, Garcia out to the sideline to Rogers, who makes the catch. He goes out of bounds at the 50-yard line. Frank Gillisker made the stop. Looked to me like Joseph Rogers was actually out of bounds and came back in.
Well, as long as he's not, if he's pushed out, Gord, he can come back in and play. He's right here on the play. He's going to run the out pattern. Now, if he runs out on his own,
yeah, he was out.
Well, he was out. Now, that's not a catchable pass then. If you run out on your own, you can't come back in the field of play and catch football.
But he did. And I think.
But wait.
Someone else saw it.
Someone else saw it. And guys in the striped shirt saw it.
And he threw the flag. 10-yard penalty, 1st and 20.
Maybe they saw the telestrator and went, hey, wait a minute.
First and long. Garcia tries it the other way.
Oh,
and
boy.
A big hit put on Travis Moore that time. Robert Holland was there along with Eddie Thomas. A 10-yard pickup the hard way for Travis Moore.
That's called 10 yards and a headache. And that's what you want to do when you're playing the zone. Make the offense throw it underneath. Robert Holland was playing in the flat. That's the zone to the sideline and short. He was sitting out there. He saw Travis Moore come out, lined him up, and pretty near took his head off.
Yeah, the commissioner.
Yeah, he just might be able to get it done.
Second down. Garcia swings it out of the backfield. Terry Vaughn has it. Oh, man, another big hit. And he keeps going, but Leonard Humphreys really unloaded on Terry Vaughn, who gets up to the 50-yard line, a pickup of 8, but that will leave Calgary 2 yards short of a first down, and the BC Lions start to apply the physical pressure to Calgary.
Well, that's what you got to do. Like we say, when they play that zone defense, and especially when you have an injury, you're sitting back and you can see the ball thrown out there in the short to the short receivers, and then you got to come up and tattoo them, and that's what the BC Lions are doing right now.
Tony Martino, whose football career in the Canadian Football League began with BC, back to back. Larry Thompson's back there with Al Shipman. They kick it to Shipman at the 13-yard line. Al Shipman's got a seam and one man to beat. And Martino makes the stop. Tony Martino makes the tackle on Al Shipman. a 32-yard return gives the Lions great field position. Well, this was the scene last week right here when Al Shipman ran up 276 total yards and a touchdown, electrifying the fans here at BC Place. The only downer was his BC Lions lost the football game, but Al Shipman, just 23 years of age, already in his third year of pro football, and Corey Philpott told him at the start of the year, "You remind me of myself at your age." Corey's only 27.
You remind me of myself. That's a good one.
Now gets it underneath to Larry Thompson. Flags are down. So is Thompson, as he is taken down hard by Alondra Johnson up at the 47-yard line. Pick up maybe a couple.
Those where the flag is, looks like it's a procedure or offside call.
And it is procedure against the BC Lions. That was just their 7th play from scrimmage. Calgary has run 23. So if you only get 6 or 7 plays, you need some big ones.
BC number 6. First down repeated.
And the aforementioned Corey Philpott called for illegal procedure. So back they go to the 40-yard line, 1st and 15, and Adam Rita is seeing his team pick up where it left off against Saskatchewan. Mistakes.
Yeah, that's what he was afraid would happen again. Last week against Saskatchewan, a couple fumbles cost them 6 points in crucial situations. He wants to eliminate those mistakes.
To Philpott, lots of time for Allen, can't find anyone open. Now over the middle he goes to Shipman, and Shipman gets loose. Marvin Coleman comes up to make the stop, and it might just have saved the touchdown. Shipman across midfield gets 16 yards and a BC Lion first down.
How did he get out of there? That's what I want to know. I mean, he cut that little underneath pass. It was really only about a 4-yard throw from Damon Allen, but like he did last week, he just somehow squirted out of the pile. You see the play action fake to Corey Philpott. And now Damon Allen will just dump it off to Al Shipman right here. Now look at this. There's 5 Calgary tacklers right there, including a pretty good one in Alondra Johnson. And somehow Shipman gets free.
Heads off with an equipment problem. Trevor Shaw comes in. Allen now over the middle. Has his man, Mike Trevathan. And Mike Trevathan has another BC first down to the 42-yard line of the Calgary Stampeders. A pickup of 15 yards to the man called Trap.
Yeah, coming off a pretty good season. Last year, the Lions' #1 receiver with over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. And he does not have any injury problems this year, which is something that he says is a relief because he's been nicked up the past couple of years.
Now Allen. Quickly to Larry Thompson, makes the catch, steps out of bounds at the 32-yard line. And a nifty pickup of 8 yards for LT. Larry Thompson's another young guy who's played a lot of football. He's 26 in his 6th year in the Canadian Football League.
Well, he came to the Lions about halfway through the season last year. He was in the Seattle Seahawks camp for most of their training camp. Really only had about 500 yards, but he's a good one. Played in Winnipeg for years and, of course, was a teammate of mine in Saskatchewan.
Pick up 8 and 2nd and 2. Back to the ground they go. Corey Philpott stacked up quickly but breaks away, and Philpott has a first down as he climbs his way down to the 28-yard line. Corey Philpott with another BC Lion first down after a gain of 4.
You know, when you're in the defensive huddle, Alondra Johnson, Marvin Pope, some of the leaders in there are probably saying, listen, with number 6 and number 1 in the backfield for BC, you got to gang tackle. Because one guy is not going to bring those backs down.
Corey Philpott last year posted his 3rd consecutive 1,000-yard rushing season, finished 4th in the league carrying the ball. First down from the 28. Allen for Shipman, and that hit him in the foot. Shipman says that's my fault.
I think Shipman turned to the out pattern, was really just supposed to stop in the dead area. He's about the 3rd receiver down the field, and he sort of sits down in the dead area. He turned to the outside, and had he just stopped and turned around, that one would have hit him right in the stomach.
BC finally has a sustained drive going, but now facing a tough situation, 2nd and 10. And Calgary showing blitz. Here it comes. Safety's coming. Johnson's coming. Allen's going to the end zone. And down goes the intended target, LT Alfred Jackson. There is no flag.
Well, David Allen made the right read. You're right, Gord. It was a safety blitz from the Calgary Stampeders. Greg Knox slipped up in what we call the A gap. That's right up the middle. David Allen read it, threw it to the right guy. Just didn't get the catch or the call.
Lou Pasaglia comes on now to try the field goal. This attempt will come from just inside the 35-yard line. He's perfect on the year, 3 for 3. Pasaglia puts it up, and good. The BC Lions score after their first sustained drive of the football game. 9 minutes to play in the first half. The Stampeders lead the Lions 10-3. Greg Knox has his seat at the tray table in the upright and lock position, but he wasn't able to get to the quarterback that time, and this should have been a touchdown.
Well, Greg Knox is going to come from this side of the screen on the free safety blitz. David Allen reads it and gets the ball off on time. Now watch. Does Alfred Jackson have an argument on the interference call?
Absolutely.
I think so. That's called face guarding. If the DB does not look back, and Al Jordan didn't, and puts his hand up in the receiver's face like Al Jordan did, that's a penalty. You got away with one.
And on to kick now is Brett Anderson, a 22-year-old out of Simon Fraser University. He'll handle the kickoff duties for the BC Lions. And he boots this one deep. Terry Vaughn takes it down at the 12-yard line. Here comes Vaughn. And Vaughn is taken down hard that time by Brad Yamoka, another UBC product. It's a 58-yard kickoff, a return of 23 yards. Brett Anderson, by the way, is a rookie out of Simon Fraser. They're calling him Lou Pasaglia's heir apparent, but Louis showing no signs of retirement. And Jeff Garcia's team has now a 10-3 lead, and this is the situation where the quote-unquote old Calgary Stampeders would really put the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, this is where they'd put about 2 more on the board and pretty much end the game. But this is a new-look team, and definitely 2 different slotbacks on offense, something we haven't talked about a whole lot yet today. And there's one of them. Joseph Rogers makes the catch, and Rogers off to the races across the 50 and out to midfield. Just shy of BC territory after a pickup of 16 yards. That's Joseph Rogers with his first catch, Glenn. Last year's Rookie of the Year runner-up. He's number 3 on your screen. Right in there. Got him. Gets a little hitch pass. But this is what Joseph Rogers did so well in Ottawa last year, and that's get some yards after he makes the catch. Really a nothing little play that he makes big gain out of all by himself. And on first down, Garcia. The wide side out to Rogers, who juggled it for a moment. And he took another shot from Leonard Humphreys for his trouble. So those 2 former teammates hook up again, and the pass falls incomplete. Well, he's a little more vertically challenged than Alan Pitts was, but what he gives up in height, he makes up in speed. The guy can fly. We're talking, of course, of Joseph Rogers, and Wally Buono's very happy to have him. He has to replace one of the all-time greats in Alan Pitts. Now the 2-back set, and they're Dwayne Ford at fullback and Kelvin Anderson at tailback. Time for Garcia, has a man. Terry Vaughn juggled it for a moment, but now has a first down inside BC territory to the 42-yard line. And left out of all this is Gerald Wilcox, who was on the Calgary sideline looking on. Wilcox had just 1 catch last week for 13 yards, and now doesn't even have his helmet on. He's not playing. Now, was the quote not, we're going to use Jeff Danielson sparingly? Excuse me, Vince Danielson sparingly. Was that not the quote? Yes. From Wally Buono? Yes. Okay. He pulled the wool over our eyes a little bit on that one. Now Garcia gives it underneath to Kelvin Anderson, and Anderson with a freight train in front of him gets down to the 32-yard line. Out leading the way was Rocco Romano from the left guard position. And it should be another Calgary first down as they're down close to the first down marker at the 32. 4-time All-Canadian Rocco Romano anchors that offensive line, and on that right side you have him, and standing right beside him is Fred Childress. That's about, what, half a ton on that side? 350 for Childress. The Big Show's 310. Well, no, that's in the program. Yeah. But I've talked to him. His shadow probably weighs 2 tons. He's 350. And Rocco Romano, So 283, 290.
Rocco says he's 257 in the program. Rocco hadn't been 257 since he was 15.
It's funny, all the defensive backs want to be bigger.
Yeah.
All the offensive linemen lie about being smaller.
The singers want to dance and the dancers want to sing. It was a Calgary first down. The drive continues from the BC 32. Here comes the rush. Garcia gets it away, but as he does, Virgil Robertson nailed him. And the pass hits the turn. Well, we have a moment. Let's go downstairs to David Pratt.
Well, Gordo, on most home games here, this gentleman beside me, Per Danielson, would be cheering for the BC Lions, but since you've got a son by the name of Vince who happens to be having a pretty good game, I guess that sort of changes everything.
There's a little bias on my side. The glint in my eye is the bias. That's how close it is.
You know, because of the fact that Vince got hurt early in the exhibition season with that back injury, do you wince just a little bit every time he catches the ball?
I think that goes with any game and every game, regardless of whether you have an injury or not. That's part of the game. But he's been lucky, generally speaking.
Well, the guys were talking about the fact that he wasn't supposed to play that much this game, but he looks like he's having just a great game.
He's off to a good start. Obviously, they want to use him and get him back into the swing. He's a fourth-year veteran, and that gives him a slight advantage by knowing all the routes compared to some of the rookies.
Pretty proud papa.
Well, I have to share that proudness. I have 3 other youngsters all around the same age, but yeah, we are a pretty good fan club out here.
Pretty much a family affair. Back to you, Gordo.
All right, thank you very much, David. And right now, Mark McLaughlin on to try a 40-yard field goal as Vince Danielson makes his way off. McLaughlin missed earlier from 32. Puts it up, and this time is good. Mark McLaughlin restores Calgary's 10-point lead. The Stampeders with a 13-3 lead, 5:48 to play in the first half. Mark McLaughlin has hit his first field goal of the year. The 3-time CFL scoring champion has other things on his mind, though, these days. We're sad to report that last week his father, Richard, passed away suddenly at the age of 56. Mark flew home to be with his family, flew back to Calgary for the game against Edmonton, and had a chance to meet Mark's dad a couple of years ago. A big fan of the Canadian Football League, and a very proud father. We at TSN send our condolences to Mark McLaughlin and his family. McLaughlin kicks it off to Al Shipman, who takes it at the 20. And Shipman through again. Finally brought down as he crosses the 45-yard line up to the 48. The tackle is made on the play by William Hampton, but Shipman has a return of 28 yards as Mike Trevathan and the BC Lion offense take the field. And Trevathan made a big impact last week against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. He was the hammer, not the nail. What a hit he put on K.D. Williams.
Well, Gord, he went 2 for 67 yards last week, but it wasn't his best play. His best play was this one. Watch him come back on the crack block right there. Oh. And K.D. Williams wasn't sure what stadium he was in after that one. He was out. Mike Trevathan loves that part of this game.
And he's quite adept at it. First down, Allen out of the backfield for Sean Millington. And Millington in a foot race with Alondra Johnson is a first down as he goes into Calgary territory down to the Stampeder 51-yard line. And just have another look at exactly what Mike Trevathan did last week to K.D. Williams. I mean, he dropped the piano on him.
Bang! K.D. Williams is not small.
KD said after the game he didn't know where he was. He couldn't move his arm.
You know, and I talked to Mike Trevathan about it before the game today, and he says, you know, you guys got to stop talking about it because we played them 2 more times. He's going to get me back.
First down for the Lions. Allen under pressure. A flag is down. Allen takes off. Lots of room. Allen now gets down to the 31-yard line, but this is likely coming back. A 20-yard gain almost certain to be negated by a holding penalty. Dave Buell is tonight's referee.
BC 64. First down repeated.
And the call goes against Mo Elawanibi, the newcomer to the BC offensive line, who spent a number of years in the National Football League. And Mo's got a program going this year where he takes kids from the Boys and Girls Club to games. He buys tickets to the game, and they come down. And Mo's already got fans at BC because they get in to see him play. They call it the Mo Zone. There it is.
Yeah, it's the Mo Zone. He buys a bunch of tickets for the Boys and Girls Club. They've doubled since the first game. They're getting some corporate sponsorship involved, and they hope by mid-season they fill that whole section with kids that may not be able to get to a football game.
Well, there's always room for improvement, isn't there? They swing it up the other way to Sean Millington. Millington across midfield again. Gives Marvin Coleman a shot. And that's the second time Sean Millington has crossed midfield of this drive. He's starting to wonder if there's two 55-yard lines in this game.
Well, Millington is the only back in the backfield, and a lot of times defense won't take as much of a look at him because they're used to trying to go after a guy like Corey Philpott or Al Shipman, but Sean Millington can get it done himself. You see over his career what he's accomplished. He's got a nice average at 5.4 yards per carry, and they're bruising yards. Talk about hammers and nails. That's a hammer right there.
Pickup of 7 at 2nd and 13. Here's Allen again. Lots of time. Has Thompson underneath, but Marvin Coleman's all over him. Down to the 48-yard line. He'll be well short of a BC first down after a gain of 6.
Larry Thompson was tiptoeing through a minefield on that play. There was about 4 Calgary Stampeder defenders hanging right around there, and he kind of tiptoed, made the catch, but it would have been a miracle for him to spring that one. Good tackling by Calgary downfield. You're going to see him come right across the middle of your screen right there, and there's Marvin Coleman and Alondra Johnson getting back. Marvin Pope right in there, and Greg Knox in the background. So 11 for Larry Thompson on that play.
Now Coleman goes back to return this punt. Lou Pasaglia to kick it away. And some confusion for the Lions on this punt formation. And Pasaglia booms it. This is Coleman and his 2. Coleman with a long way to go. Gets as far as the 10-yard line before he's brought down. Among those down to make the stop for the BC Lions, Peter Miller, a 46-yard punt and a return of 8 yards. Well, Kelvin Anderson and the Calgary Stampeders will go back to work, and it's interesting to note how the running game has come back in the Canadian Football League. More 1,000-yard rushers last year than there have been in the 90s, and part of that may be due to the fact that we talked about earlier, all those tweeners out there, all those little linebackers maybe make the running game more attractive.
Exactly. When coaches look at it, they might say, wait a minute, their linebackers aren't over 200 pounds. We got to run it.
Now Garcia throws it out there for Terry Vaughn, but the pass went between Vaughn and Joseph Rogers. Falls incomplete, and Garcia shaking his head.
He would have liked to have that one back. Terry Vaughn had sat in the hole and was open initially, and Garcia just didn't hit him.
We reached the 3-minute warning at BC Place. The Calgary Stampeders lead the Lions 13-3. 3 in the battle of teams that lost in the last minute last week. Jeff Garcia on 2nd and long. Screens it underneath for Terry Vaughn. He's got a convoy in front of him. Here's Terry Vaughn. Still going. Big Jamie Crysdale out in front of him running interference. And Terry Vaughn just ran in his wake for a 36-yard gain.
Gord, the key block was Jay McNeil on the hitch screen from the guard position, pulled out there, and I believe it was Maurice Kelly. Terry Vaughn is right out here. He's going to catch the hitch screen. Now watch number 50 right there come out and take the break there on Mieva. That springs Terry Vaughn on the play, and then Chris Burns rumbling down the field to try and pick up a DB. Those offensive linemen love that. They love getting down the field.
Yeah, they can start tap dancing on the little people.
Yeah, Jay McNeil, though, he sprung him there with the big hit on David Mieva. He pulled out there and put a huge block on the tweener.
Dave Chaders is the injured BC Lion, and Chaders was very much in the spotlight last week in the penalty department. And Adam Rita had a blunt assessment of Mr. Chaders' penalty problems.
Yeah, not smart, I think, was something
along those
lines. But he likes his tenacity, and he likes how tough he is in the middle, and he often requires to be double teamed. So Adam Rita's not about to make a change. He'll just try and control him a little, if that's possible.
Meantime, the Calgary Stampeders are going down. Jeff Garcia is 16 of 23 passing for 203 yards and a touchdown. And we haven't reached halftime yet. Terry Vaughn's been a big part of that. So is Vince Danielson. First down, Calgary from the Stampeder 48-yard line. Here comes the pressure. Garcia gets it away. Oh, and the ball is knocked out. He was trying to get it down there to Gerald Wilcox, but the ball came out at the last moment, and the man there to knock it out was Frank Pimiskern, who's come on as the Lions have had some injury problems in their secondary.
Yeah, Damian Lyons is still on the bench, so Frank Pimiskern gets a chance to play, but really amazing how Garcia got this one away. He had Virgil Robertson hitting him as he throws the football, and then here's the end of the play with the hit right there on Pimiskern, and that just shoots the ball right out of there. Tackle the football, they tell you.
Second down. Garcia over the middle, and the pass was tipped. He was looking there for Travis Moore. I'm not sure who got his hands on it, but Johnny Scott jumping there. And Johnny Scott was in no man's land. He was 20 yards from the quarterback and 20 yards from the receiver.
No, this is a wrinkle now from the defense. He's going to drop, and they're going to send a linebacker. Here's Johnny Scott. Johnny Scott obviously is a pass rusher, but in this particular defense, he's going to drop into the curl zone. Johnny Scott is about 6'3", 265 pounds, and we just saw him backpedal.
Wow. They call him the freak of nature. Apparently, he's an outstanding basketball player at that size. Yikes.
Great athlete. The guy can throw the football from his knees 50 yards. He's done it in practice and won money. We just saw him. He can backpedal too.
Now they're trying to get things sorted out in the Calgary punt team, and they'll take the time count violation and move it back. Chuck McMahon, the special teams coach for Calgary, talking to Wally Buono.
And when they look at that chart, that's usually the depth chart. Now they're trying to count out who was not on the field so they can account for it in the fine department later. That goes to accounting, that one.
Al Shipman and Larry Thompson are back deep to receive. Martino kicking it away from Shipman. Thompson from the 25-yard line. And Darryl Hall quickly runs him down along with Raymond Biggs, and Biggs comes up with a stop just outside the 30-yard line. Raymond Biggs, a fifth-year man for the Calgary Stampeders, still trying to break his way into the starting lineup for the Stamps, but with Anthony McClanahan, Alondra Johnson, and Darryl Hall starting at linebacker, he's got to star on special team.
And he does. He led the CFL in special team tackles last year with 31 and has led his team so far after 2 games. And he's got a big job ahead of him tonight with Al Shipman back there catching the football.
And tack on an illegal block against the BC Lions. The ball goes all the way down to the 21-yard line. And it'll be the BC Lions bottled up badly. Now deep in their own territory with 2:06 to go. So not only would Damon Allen like to get this ball going and score with it, he's got to get it out of ways to stop Calgary from scoring should the Lions be forced to punt. Allen will start from the shotgun. 4 receivers to the top of the screen. Allen, quarterback draw, nothing doing. Dwayne Patterson up to make the stop. He saw that coming. With the sack, we'll call it. And the Lions are moved back even further.
This is the downside of running the spread offense. Damon Allen has no one in the backfield beside him to pick up and help out on any blocks, and Dwayne Patterson is one-on-one in the middle with Mark Hatfield, beats him, comes up with his 2nd sack of the season.
Well, the Lions are backing up at the worst possible time. 1:45 to play in the first half. They face 2nd and long. Here comes the rush. Allen gets it away to Trevathan out to the 24-yard line. A flag is down.
It's going to be a late hit, Gord, I believe. Greg Knox came from the safety position, and just as Damon Allen threw the football, put a great shot on him. He went down to the turf, and I believe that's what you're going to get.
Calgary number 8.
So tack on the game and the penalty. Out to the 39-yard line they go. It's a 25-yard pickup all told.
Well, was it a penalty or not?
Yes.
Definitely. Greg Knox took about 3 or 4 steps after Damon Allen. Here comes Knox right through that seam, and He's going to take a couple steps and unload on Damon Allen, and that's the penalty.
1:37 to play in the first half. Allen swings out of the backfield for Corey Philpott. He's got room to go. Philpott's got first down right across the 50-yard line. Alondra Johnson fought off the block to make the stop. A gain of 12 for Corey Philpott and another BC first down.
Well, he's exciting to watch when he catches the football or gets it on the handoff. When he starts to wind up, when those legs get going, he is so quick. Got a great career average. Corey Philpott averages 6.1 yards a carry in his career. That's better than Johnny Bright and George Reed. That's pretty good company.
And all kinds of flags fly. Mo Elowanibi.
He needs a nickname. Let's just call him Mo.
Big Mo jumps offside. You know what's interesting about how things have changed in the Canadian Football League? Mo Elowanibi is 6'4", 286 pounds. He's the Lions' smallest offensive lineman. The rest are Mark Hatfield, 6'6", 305. Chuck Bradley, 6'6", 300. Corey Mantika, 6'5", 275. Todd Furtick, 6'7", 305. So Mo is like little Mo.
What I want to know is, how is Damon Allen at 6 feet tall seeing anything down the field with those guys? Those pillars out front.
I guess he approaches it like Arnold Palmer used to approach trees. Like, there's more air than trees, so you just try to sling it through there and hope something happens.
You got to play the draw? Is that what?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. That's the worst nightmare a buffet could ever see right there, is those guys coming. First and 15. Allen takes off, and look out. Anthony McClanahan was waiting for him. And that was a turkey shoot right there.
Well, Chuck Bradley had to try and slide out from the center position and pick up Anthony McClanahan on the blitz, and he didn't get there in time. He's going to come off the right side right here, and the center, Chuck Bradley, 65, has to slide out there and pick him up. He doesn't get there in time and doesn't get his head across Anthony McClanahan's chest. Damon Allen has nowhere to go.
A loss of 6. And now Calgary calls timeout with 1:11 to play. It's second and a bundle, 21 to be exact.
Wally Buono's on the sideline talking to Greg Knox, who calls a lot of the defense, is saying, whatever we just did on that one, let's do that one again.
Yeah, that one where McClanahan just pounds their quarterback. Yeah, do that one again.
Do over. Repeat. And I'm sure Anthony McClanahan would love that.
Gee, second and 21. I think the Stamps will blitz here. Wally might be coming.
It still could. He's in pretty good shape.
Allen has time. Drops it off underneath, and Philpott is run down immediately. Not much doing there as Eddie Davis picked him up. And needing 21, the Lions get maybe 6. And a prudent timeout taken by the Calgary Stampeders, because now the clock will stop again. And Calgary, with any kind of return, might have a chance to get some more points here.
Yeah, and the fans in Vancouver are not happy about the fact that Damon Allen threw it underneath when they needed all those yards, but Calgary did a good job of dropping everybody back off, playing the deep, not giving up the big play, and forcing Damon Allen to dump it off. And then Allen just has to hope that Corey Philpott can pick it up on his own, but Eddie Davis says no shot.
And now Pasaglia back to punt to Terry Vaughn and Marvin Coleman. 48 seconds to play in the first half. Good kick by Pasaglia. Coleman from the 18-yard line. And just tripped up at the very last second by Sean Millington, or Coleman would have gone a long way. As it is, the Stampeders will start at their own 33-yard line, a 14-yard return of a 45-yard punt. Well, Damon Allen and company make their way to the sidelines, and the old question is, if you need 21, why throw at 6?
Well, you know, you want to throw at 21 yards, but when the defense is back there, and trust me, they are for Calgary, Damon Allen has no one open deep. He doesn't want to force an interception at this point in the game, so he'll dump it off and just hope that Corey Philpott can pick it up on his own.
Garcia from the shotgun swings it out of the backfield for Kelvin Anderson, but Joe Fleming came up to start it, and the play was finished off by Robert Holland. And not much doing there. Joe Fleming just fought off his block all the way to the sideline, and then came up to stop that one.
He really did, and BC Lions really had to find a place for Joe Fleming in the lineup. In the preseason, sacked Danny McManus in Edmonton 5 times in one game.
He only had 4 quarterback sacks all of last year.
Yeah, when he had the great preseason, they really had to find a place for him. He usually plays inside at the defensive tackle position, but Dave Chaters and Johnny Scott are in there, so Adam Rita moved him out to the tackle, and he's done a pretty good job after a couple games. Well, game and a half.
Now it's the Lions' turn to call timeout with 28 seconds to go in the half. They might be able to stop the clock. If they can get a stop here, they might get a chance for some points. And now they're taking a look on the bench at Al Jordan. And there's Pat Clayton, the veteran physiotherapist for the Calgary Stampeders, a former Winnipeg Blue Bomber.
And the way that Pat Clayton is bending that knee, that looks like a knee problem. Calgary obviously do not want to lose their all-star corner.
Right now the focus on the offense. And on 2nd and 7, here's Garcia. Has a man open, Vince Danielson, who somehow took the ball away from Maurice Kelly. And Kelly can't believe that Danielson made that catch.
This is what happens when you gamble and cut under. You better make the interception. And Maurice Kelly took a gamble, came underneath, and just missed it. Danielson picks up some big yards because of it.
6 catch for Danielson, 61 yards. That time a gain of 17. On 1st down, Garcia. Wide open, Joseph Rogers. And now Rogers down to the 37-yard line. David Mava makes the stop. 10 seconds to play in the first half. So a chance for Calgary to take a shot at the end zone if necessary. And if that doesn't work out, the Stamps can kick the field goal.
Well, David Mieva and Maurice Kelly are trying to jam the slotbacks for Calgary, and they're getting all turned around, and that's opening up those inside receivers.
And now Wally Buono on 1st down will bring out the field goal unit. So he doesn't want to take a shot at the end zone. And is Garcia still injured from that shot he took from Johnny Scott, shaking his wrist a little bit? I think McLaughlin is going to try a 45-yarder. He will. So a very conservative Wally Buono here at the end of the first half.
Well, remember, Dave Dickinson is the holder. Dickinson is a backup quarterback.
Are you suspecting that something is afoot?
Well, you know that BC won't have a play if it doesn't work. This, to me, would be a good time to run it.
So they don't.
All right,
McLaughlin puts it up and misses it. Trying to bring it out. Here comes Eddie Thomas. He gets out. And he's thrown down at the 5-yard line. The first half comes to a conclusion. The Calgary Stampeders jump out to an early 7-0 lead, but the BC Lions hang in there. And now Calgary goes to the dressing room with a 13-3 lead after 30 minutes of play. The second half still to come, but stay tuned now for our CFL Live at the half. Both these teams were comeback victims a week ago. Now Damon Allen and the BC Lions will try to turn the tables on the Calgary Stampeders with the Stamps full value for a 13-3 lead in the opening half. Jeff Garcia drove his team down on the opening drive, went 6 for 6. And looked like the Stamps might be off and running in this one, but they've run into some stiff resistance from a BC defense that lost its starting corner on that opening series. And the comparison of the first half numbers will show you a story that should be more one-sided than it is. Garcia is 19 for 28 for 244. Allen's 10 for 14 for 107. But no touchdown passes for Allen and not much movement in that first half.
Well, Damon Allen really didn't sustain any drives, and that's the big thing. And how that can hurt you later in the game is your defense starts to get tired. When they're out there as long as they've been for the BC Lions so far in the first half, start to wear on you a little bit. So Damon Allen, for a couple reasons, has to put some drives together.
Allen and the Lions will get the ball first here in the second half. And you think back in the second quarter, the opening play of the second quarter, Allen misfires with Sean Millington. The ball falls in the end zone. Allen forced to give up a safety. Otherwise, the BC Lions are even closer here.
Yeah, a couple of miscues, big plays, and it takes 1 or 2 to turn the tide in a football game. Adam Rita knows that. That's why he emphasized mistakes. Said, let's eliminate some of those.
Mark McLaughlin kicks it off. Here's Al Shipman from his 10. Shipman's a threat every time he touches it, and he almost broke loose there, but that time Ray Bernard got down to make the stop for Calgary, and the Lions will start at their own 30-yard line. Damon Allen, Glenn, is battling for the all-time lead for rushing yards by a quarterback. He started the year 95 yards behind Tracy Ham. That record has changed hands 3 times in the last 12 months and is likely to do that a few more times for the end of this year.
And remember, he holds the record for rushing in one game by a quarterback. That was back in '93 versus the BC Lions when he was in Edmonton, and he had 170, so he can get it after him.
This time he swings out of the backfield to Corey Philpott, and Philpott quickly brought down by Eddie Davis. Philpott has a gain of a couple out to the 31-yard line.
Well,
it's a passing play, Glenn, but
it's really a running.
It is a run. For all intents and purposes, that's a run.
That's right, and that's what we talked about at halftime. Simple play, dump it off to Corey Philpott on first down, let him pick up a few, get in second and medium, second and short.
This time, though, they're in second and long. Allen, lots of time, steps up, has a man for the moment, and almost intercepted. Almost picked off by William Hampton, who would have had his first CFL interception, but the pass bounced up in the air and hit the turf. And William Hampton, whose dad played with Wally Buono in Montreal, leaves the field knowing he should have had his first pick.
Well, William Hampton is in for Al Jordan playing the corner, and he does a pretty nice job. He just sits down, sees the ball in the air. Now, just got to hang on. That one would have went in the trophy case if he could have grabbed it.
Lou Pasaglia to punt, Terry Vaughn and Marvin Coleman back to receive from the CFL's most seasoned veteran. And a good punt by Pasaglia. This is Coleman from the 37-yard line. And Coleman fights his way out to the 49. Lou Pasaglia's Canadian Football League career began in 1976 during the late days of Gerald Ford's presidency.
Now, was it Trudeau in Canada?
Pierre Trudeau was the Prime Minister in Canada. When he played that rookie year, he played in Clark Stadium in Edmonton, Exhibition Stadium in Toronto, Empire Stadium in BC, and the Autostad in Montreal. Hey, when you outlast 4 buildings, you've been around a long time.
43 years old and still doing it.
Jeff Garcia under pressure on first down, gets away. And gets it over there to Joseph Rogers, who crosses into BC territory out of bounds at the 52-yard line. What else was going on when Louis began his Canadian Football League career? Well, you might remember some of these. Remember Dog Day Afternoon about the bank pulled up, gone wrong? Al Pacino, The Bad News Bears. I fell in love with Tatum O'Neal. The top TV shows included All in the Family, The Hollywood Squares. Charles Goebbels of The Hollywood Squares, my favorite. Circle Takes the Square. Steak was 78 cents a pound. I like that. And Glenn Suter ran the 40 in 4.3 seconds, or so he told me.
That was a long time ago, and the lie gets bigger as the years go on.
Calvin Anderson with the carry, trying to get to the first down marker, should be very close to it. And Calvin Anderson taking it off to the left side and should be close to another Calgary Stampeder first down. And you know, you talk about all the changes that have happened with the Calgary Stampeders, but one thing they've been able to do for the most part is keep their front line intact on the offensive side. Now, Bruce Covington at left tackle had shoulder surgery in the offseason, and there are questions about whether or not he'll be able to return this year. Chris Burns takes his spot, but McNeil, Crysdale, Childress, and Romano all returned from last year. Now Garcia has time, has a man wide open. Travis Moore was all by himself, and has a first down to the 28-yard line. Leonard Humphreys and Frank Pimisker make the stop. But Travis Moore didn't have anyone within 10 yards of him when Jeff Garcia delivered that football. It's a pickup of 22 yards.
Travis Moore is right here in motion. He's going to run the out and up. And this is the inexperience of the Frank Pimiskern. So he's going to go to the out. Now, Pimiskern's got him to the flat number 18, but he loses him. And Travis Moore comes up with a big catch.
Travis Moore, 5 catches for 80 yards. Calvin Anderson with the carry. Anderson tries the right side across the 25-yard line. Tyrone Chapman up to make the stop along with Greg Frères. That time they ran in behind Rocco Romano and Fred Childress on the right side of that Calgary offensive line. Kelvin Anderson and Corey Philpott, the CFL's 3rd and 4th leading rushers from a year ago. How are they doing tonight? Corey Philpott has 4 yards rushing. That's all of BC's rushing yards. Anderson has 27. Garcia. Lots of time. End zone. Danielson. Oh, what a hit. Leonard Humphreys unloaded on Vince Danielson, and the ball actually hit him in the back.
It was the timing of Leonard Humphreys on the play to time it up is just as that ball was landing in Vince Danielson's hands, he lowered the boom and knocked it out. Danielson's one of the inside receivers. He's going to come down, and Humphreys is up here at the top of your screen. Now he's going to just sit in the zone, wait for the ball to be thrown, and then watch the timing.
Can't get better than that. It forces a Mark McLaughlin field goal attempt from the BC 32-yard line. McLaughlin puts it up, and good. His second of the day, and the Calgary Stampeders have extended their lead to 13 points with 10:41 to play in the third quarter. Stamps 16, Lions 3. In Regina yesterday.
Now just make sure that we're not sitting close.
No.
Okay.
The trick to being with those guys is let them go first.
Yeah, okay.
They get all the abuse. Mark McLaughlin to kick it off. This is Shipman from the 15-yard line. Shipman's got some room up the left side and finally forced out of bounds. Raymond Biggs up at the 38-yard line. And Al Shipman really does bring the fans to their feet every time he touches the football.
You know, a lot of people are talking about him around the league, like, where was he? Where did this guy show up? But Adam Rita had him in Memphis back in 1995. Knew what he could do, but he was just in a situation where he had good running backs and didn't get in the lineup, didn't get to showcase his skills. But now that he's had that chance, he's taken full advantage of it.
Now the Lions have it. First down at their own 39-yard line. Allen from the shotgun gives it off to Corey Philpott. Quick hit up the middle. And Philpott's up to the 49-yard line. Darrell Hall makes the stop. But not before Corey Philpott has a gain of 10, his longest run of the game. In fact, BC's longest run of the game.
They really did simplify things at halftime, Gord. Just a quick hitter, a little sprint draw right there from Damon Allen to Corey Philpott. And also gives that offensive line for BC a chance to just fire off the ball and go try and get someone rather than always sitting back and trying to pass block.
On first down, the Lions, who have spent very little time in Calgary territory today, have their chance now. And flags fly. Trevathan might have been offside there, trying to time his jump to the snap count.
Well, he must be, because he's almost at the Calgary 30-yard line right now, and that's about 25 yards further than anyone else.
Either he runs the 40 a lot faster than anyone else on the planet, or he cheated.
He cheated.
BC 59.
Okay. Well, Todd Furtick helped him along.
On the other side of the line, Todd Furtick jump. BC Lions first-round pick in 1992. He and Corey Mantiga have been the pillars of strength in that BC offensive line in their fourth and fifth years, respectively. Now Allen, lots of time, just had the ball slip out of his hand. That ball just squirted out of Damon Allen's hand.
He dropped the rock.
Whoops. They got to start sewing handles on those things, you know that?
It gets really hot in the dome, especially on a hot day like it was today in Vancouver, and sweat starts getting on the hand. You're going to get a good look at it. Allen sees an open receiver, but
whoops.
Just dropped the pigskin. It was a slick pigskin, and he let it go.
Well, now he's got himself in a real slick situation. Second and 15 against the Calgary team that loves to blitz. And here comes the gang again. Millington's in there to protect him this time. Now he leaves in motion. Allen. Here it comes, and down he goes. Dwayne Patterson drops Damon Allen, who never had a chance. And the Lions will be forced to punt.
Strictly a one-on-one with Dwayne Patterson and Mo Elowanibi from the outside, and he comes off and does a nice swim move on Elowanibi, one-on-one pass rush situation. He's on the left side of your screen over here. He's going to come on the pass rush. You're going to see him come up late. There's Elowanibi. Now watch the move. Push off Elowanibi, cut underneath. Great speed to the quarterback and pulls down Damon Allen.
Now Now Pasaglia forced to punt. Coleman back deep to receive. The Lions have but one field goal to show for their efforts so far today. Another good kick by Pasaglia. Coleman from the 37-yard line. Fights his way up to the 45 before he's brought down. Stephen Glenn makes the stop. There's a flag down on the play. 8:29 to play here in the third quarter. The Calgary Stampeders should have good field position, but it's an illegal block, so that'll move the Stamps back. We'll be back with more from the stadium at BC Place when the CFL Live returns to Vancouver right after this.
Just one taste at Country
Hey,
Style.
wait till you taste the difference at Country Style. We're now serving Pepsi products.
Good move.
And to celebrate, buy a freshly made sandwich and you'll get a jumbo Pepsi free.
Wow.
There's more. Want the inside story?
Naturally.
Look at this. Collect Pepsi points right in the cup and get great Pepsi stuff. You can even win it all or a cool jacket at Country Style.
I'm there. Here. That's all it takes at Country Style.
Did you know there's an oil filter that not only cleans your oil, but actually contains an engine additive? It's the Fram Double Guard with DuPont Teflon already in it. Can I get another filter, please? As I was saying, this Fram Double Guard filter not only cleans your oil better than most leading brands, it already has DuPont Teflon inside of it. Can I get some rubber gloves, please?
On their feet. Humans don't.
Welcome back to the stadium at BC Place. Gord Miller with Glenn Suter. You know, Glenn, before the game, I saw these wrestling guys.
Yeah.
You should, Thrasher, Mosh.
Well, they were down on the field at halftime.
What a bunch of pinheads. You should see. One of the guys wears a skirt.
Yeah.
Oh!
He said it. He said it.
No, it was him. He said it. It wasn't me, man. I swear it wasn't me. Sorry, sir. First down, Calgary from the 25-yard line. Garcia takes off. Joseph Rogers with the catch out across the 40 to the 41. Wow. I feel like wrestling, man. I'm all pumped up now. Pick up a 13 yards for Joseph Rogers. Hey, this was halftime, some sumo wrestling. Now,
you look good in that suit there. I don't know how you got it off to get the tie back on.
Are you going to take that from him, Thrash? Take that?
See?
There's the Thrasher.
That's the Thrasher.
Hey, just remember.
There's Mosh. All right.
Mosh. Nice catch.
Just remember, tomorrow, Sunday, Calgary Stampede, 6:30 in Calgary.
Jeff Garcia taking off. He's brought down. Now, what are you guys doing, Blackjack? What's going on?
I cannot believe he said tomorrow is Sunday. That shows you the exact intelligence. What it is it's Sunday at 5:30 God's country time. That's Lone Star State of Texas time. There's the big Canadian Stampede of the Hart Foundation versus a bunch of United States boys.
You know what I heard? I heard there's nothing from Texas but steers and queers.
I guess I got horns.
I guess you must know. The give goes off to Kelvin Anderson. Hey, Mosh, the Thrasher, and Blackjack, you're here tomorrow, right, at BC Place?
Yes, we are. We're here tomorrow.
Or GM Place, I should say. Sorry.
That's right. Sunday, we have the big pay-per-view of the Canadian Stampede in Calgary.
Well, guys, listen. Hey, you guys just sort yourself out.
They're going to go at it right here.
Don't go at it right here because the earthquake would shake us all.
Uh-oh.
Now, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm smarter than that.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks very much. Appreciate it. Have a good time tomorrow. All right.
Wow. That was scary.
They
Start
so
going,
bad.
if they go after each other back here, my telestrator pen's not big enough to circle them.
Hey, you know what? I saw him playing catch down there.
Not bad.
Playing catch down there. At halftime, hey, it's a move. Blackjack actually played for the Raiders.
Yikes, he looks like he'd be a Raider. That's what he looks like. Tough guy. He was about ready to throw you out on the field.
Nah, come on. I could have taken him. I've won every fight I've ever been in by 10 yards. Jeff Garcia takes it straight ahead. Where were we? Oh, that was a third down gamble. Oh, there's a football game going on. You know what's funny? You know who wrestled after his pro football career was Brett the Toaster Williams.
That's right.
And I think Glenn Kulka, the former Saskatchewan Rough Rider, among others, is also on the pro wrestling circuit now. And, of course, Angela Mosca wrestled for years.
Glenn Kulka, well, he'll be a good one. I mean, not because of the wrestling, because of the acting that goes with it.
I went to junior high school with him. He was the biggest 13-year-old you've ever seen.
Yeah, still is.
Garcia on first down. Wide open. Vince Danielson has the catch down on the 38-yard line. Pimmisker makes the stop, but Vince Danielson's really been a one-man gang.
The BC Lions are having to play that vanilla defense with the substitutions they're making, and they're getting their backs turned to receivers, and Danielson turns the out and kind of sits down, and because the secondary for the Lions all have their back to him, they don't get there in time. You see Pimmisker coming in late as well as Leonard Humphreys, and just can't get there in time.
Vince Danielson has 7 catches in the game. Garcia steps up. Flag comes down. Garcia still going. Oh, big block as he goes around the corner. Joseph Rogers unloaded on Frank Pimmisker. This may all be for naught as a flag came down in the offensive backfield of the Calgary Stampeders, and it is indeed against the Stamps.
Once the scramble started from Jeff Garcia, the holding came right after that.
Holding, Calgary 56. First down repeated.
I'll tell you what, all of a sudden all these receivers want to start throwing blocks. What's going on in this league?
Well, this one was late on the plays. Jeff Garcia breaks the outside. Here comes Maurice Kelly and Pimmisker, and Joseph Rogers lays a little bit of a lick on the youngster in Pimmisker. He's not a big guy.
Whatever happened to throwing yourself at the guy's feet and hoping he tripped on you? But the penalty against the Stamps drives them back to the BC 49-yard line. Here comes the rush. The screen pass set up for Terry Vaughn, who ran into Rocco Romano. That slowed him down just long enough for the Lions to get there. Johnny Scott up to make the stop along with Tyrone Chapman, a pickup of 3 yards.
Last time the Calgary Stampeders ran that play, it worked perfectly. And that time Jay McNeil got out and made the block. This time Rocco Romano didn't quite get out there far enough, and it sort of threw off the timing. And that's why Vaughn ran right into it.
Second and a bundle. Now the Lions turn to pin back their ears.
This is a precise game. You have to be where you're supposed to be on every play.
Lots of time for Garcia. Well, over the top he goes for Wilcox. Oh, almost intercepted. Leonard Humphreys couldn't squeeze it.
We saw Calgary's William Hampton have one right in his hands and straight out drop it, and this time it's Leonard Humphreys' turn from the Lions, and this one he was timing up the whole way. Garcia puts a lot of air on the football. He times it up, gets up there, and forgets one thing: to catch it. So that goes into the record books as a knockdown for Leonard Humphreys. And some DBs will say knockdown's as good as an interception, but I would say that Leonard Humphreys isn't thinking that right now.
Some DBs lie when they say that. Well, to give the Lions credit, though, they force the Stamps back, and Martino will punt. This is Al Shipman. Martino aiming it for the corner. Shipman from his goal line. And gets out to the 6-yard line, tripped up the play by Eddie Davis. A 46-yard punt, a return of 6. Damon Allen and the Lions in a deep hole when we come back. Welcome back to the stadium in BC Place. Gordon Miller along with Glenn Suter. Leonard Humphreys, a great chance for an interception. Couldn't squeeze it, and after the punt, the Lions are backed up to their own 7-yard line, trailing 16-3 late in the third quarter. Slings it out there, but it's a one-hopper as he looked there to Alfred Jackson. The pass falls incomplete. Now, we talked about the loss of a stat for Leonard Humphreys, but the difference, too, is a loss of yardage.
Absolutely. Leonard Humphreys drops a for sure interception here. He does it probably on about the 13-yard line, and there's no one around him. Here's the interception that he drops. Now, That's about the 13-yard line right there. Okay, he drops it now. There's no one in front of him. He gains maybe 20 yards for sure on the run back. They get it on the 7. They lose about 20 yards of field position because Leonard Humphreys drops one.
Now Allen slinging it up there for Larry Thompson. Makes the catch out across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Eddie Davis pushed him out of bounds. Big catch by Larry Thompson. And a huge Lions first down.
Gord, it really is a big play for a Lions offense. Damon Allen, who really haven't been able to get anything together all game, to be back down there 2nd and 10 and come up with a first down is a huge play for them right now.
Lions at the 32. Larry Thompson has 3 catches in the football game, twice over 1,000 yards in his CFL career. Allen from the shotgun. And nowhere to go. Marvin Pope just snuffed that play by himself. First of all, he got the hands up, then he jumped. Poor Damon Allen just ran out of things to do.
Well, Marvin Pope, responsibility on the pass rush is to keep Damon Allen in the pocket while trying to get pressure. Now, that sounds easy to say, not so easy to do, but he does it perfectly there. He keeps forcing the pocket back. Jamie Terrace, who is nursing a bit of a sore ankle, couldn't hold him off and sacks Damon Allen. You know what I'm not seeing from Damon Allen that I've seen in the past, though, is him running. I mean, usually he will break the pocket and beat one guy in the open field, and he's just not doing it tonight.
Loss of 12. It's 2nd and 22. Allen underneath, almost intercepted. Alondra Johnson would have scored.
I think he was surprised. He was so surprised that ball hit him square in the numbers.
Listen to the crowd booing the Lions offense as it leaves the field.
Alondra Johnson right here in your screen is going to take his drop. Damon Allen's going to hit Trevathan. Trevathan kind of hesitates, and Alondra Johnson just surprised that the ball hit him. Sweet, right in the chest.
He almost knocked that down on a self-defense. Now, Pasaglia forced the punt. Coleman stands at his 45. Lou Pasaglia's punting average last year was outstanding, 41.9 yards, his best since 1985. And he gets another good one away, but returnable. Coleman from the 42. And tripped up neatly on the play as he's brought down by Wayne Drinkwalter, number 51, quick to get down, a 48-yard punt and a return of 11. Lots of coming up next week on TSN as the All-Star game comes your way from Cleveland, the Home Run Derby, the All-Star Gala, and of course the All-Star game itself. It all starts Monday and Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 Pacific. Rocket Roger Clemens will be there, among others. Mike Lansing of the Expos, disappointed he didn't make the team.
I wonder if Clemens can throw a football.
You know, some baseball pitchers used to use a lead football to build their arm. Nolan Ryan used to do that. Now Garcia slings it underneath for Terry Vaughn. That receiver screens work well for Calgary. He does again as he gets into BC territory down about the 48-yard line.
It's exactly the same play they ran earlier with Jay McNeil pulling out there to get the block, and he does it again. Vaughn springs it, and it's McNeil against David Mieva, and when Terry Vaughn sees that matchup with McNeil outweighing him by almost 80 points, Vaughn is definitely going to take advantage of that, and he can do it. You know, last year with well over 1,000 yards, Gord, a lot of those came after he caught the football. A lot of short patterns that he broke.
Terry Vaughn has been over 1,000 yards in each of his first 2 CFL seasons. He's also 1-for-1 throwing the football. He completed his only pass.
Now, where did you see that stat? I didn't see that stat.
What?
The throwing stat.
It's in the book, man.
Okay. That was the fine print on Terry Vaughn?
Yeah. You gotta read the book, man.
Yeah.
Not just the picture part.
Oh.
There's words in there. Next to the numbers, there's words. Lions are hanging on here, down 16-3, and the Stampeders have it 2nd and inches at the BC 47-yard line. 1 minute to play in the 3rd quarter. Option. And Garcia fakes the option toss, dives across the 45-yard line. Maurice Kelly makes the stop. Let's go back downstairs to David Pratt.
Well, Gordo, for 15 years, the man beside me, Al Wilson, was one of the best football players I ever saw. And this summer, at the end of this summer, he goes into the Hall of Fame. How good is that, Al?
It's an honor beyond honors. I mean, you play the game because you love it. You get paid for it. But
you never play it to go into the Hall of Fame, and when they do it to you, you just smile and say thank you very much.
Everybody who played with you, everybody who played against you, just called you Dirt. Curtis Wester gave you that name. Where'd it come from?
Well, it came from an off-field incident, and they were calling me Dirty Al, but we had Jim Young, who was Dirty 30. So one day at practice, Curtis just says, we're just going to call him Dirt, and it's stuck ever since.
Best memory had to be 85, right?
85, walking home with a cup. We worked long and hard for it. That was a team goal, and we were here 14 years trying to get it, so that sticks mine. Finest moment at that time.
Hopefully they'll get it back together this season and beyond.
We've got a few miles to go yet, but they can get there.
Look forward to seeing them in the Hall of Fame.
Thank you, David.
Al Wilson, back up to you, Gordo.
All right, well, we visited with Dirt. An ugly play for the Calgary Stampeders, a loss of 18 as Jeff Garcia had trouble with the snap. And that wouldn't have happened with Al Wilson firing him back there. Al Garcia on second and more than we can count is set. Big play once again by the BC Lions defense. Joe Fleming up to make the stop. That's the end of the third quarter. And the Calgary Stampeders, who saw a fourth quarter lead evaporate last week, will hope the same doesn't happen this week. The fourth quarter to come right now. Back to our CFL Live control center. The Calgary Stampeders will kick the ball away to the BC Lions. And what do you think about what they were talking about there, Glenn, bringing the ball out?
Well, I mean, when you got great return, man, you want to get them the ball. But I have to agree with the coach. If you can give up the field or give up the single point and take the field position, it's probably the smarter move.
Larry Thompson, Corey Philpott back to return this punt. Philpott, a dangerous return guy, but the Lions have been hesitant to use him too much in returns just because they don't want to get too beat up. And Martino will kick it away, and you wonder if it isn't going through Wally Buono's mind what happened last week. Almost blocked. Ball bounces down to Larry Thompson at the 22-yard line, and Thompson fights his way out to the 28. Farrell Duclair down to make the stop. A 42-yard punt and a return of 6. Well, here are the numbers through 3 quarters, and one that stands out, the time of possession. Look at this, 10 minutes difference. 27:59 for the Calgary Stampeders, and the total yards 332 for Calgary, 102 for BC.
That Lion defense has got to be feeling a little winded right now.
It's the offense that has the ball here from its own 27-yard line. Allen, pump fake, wants to go deep. Alfred Jackson's open and has the catch. Forced out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Alfred Jackson has BC's biggest play of the football game.
He's working on the newcomer William Hampton on the corner, and Alfred Jackson does a super job of not giving away when the football is in the air. Damon Allen's going to put a lot of air on this ball on the out and up. Now watch Jackson at the tail end of this play. He's going to run in stride and then just at the last minute stick his hands out, and William Hampton doesn't realize that the ball is there. Right there, he puts him on at the last second. Doesn't give it away. Hampton has no shot.
A 52-yard gain for Alfred Jackson. A BC Lion first down at the Calgary 30-yard line. Allen. Underneath he goes and has his man. It's complete there to Andrew English. Andrew English, in his first year out of UBC, has his first CFL catch. He broke his ankle in training camp a year ago. Missed all of last year, came back this year as a free agent. He's in there now for the BC Lions as the extra receiver. He's got another catch, or another first down on his first Canadian Football League catch.
He was in Saskatchewan early. They traded him before camp even started to BC, and he was happy to be back out here.
First down, Allen. The other side, back to Alfred Jackson. Sidestep the first man, Eddie Davis. Hangs on to him as Jackson fights down the 9-yard line, close to another BC first down.
This is the Alfred Jackson that Adam Rita is hoping to see. He's the outside receiver, just going to run the hitch screen here, catch the ball. But it's what he does after he catches the football that matters. Break a tackle right here on Hampton, who drops his head. Then he also works on Eddie Davis and gets the first down.
Alfred Jackson spent the last couple of years in the National Football League as a defensive back with the Minnesota Vikings.
Sure did. Played corner, but he, in 1994, was a receiver with Winnipeg. Actually played both ways there.
Second down. Allen. Oh, and he dropped the football. He was looking for Al Shipman. It was 2nd and inches. Now it'll be 3rd. Al Shipman was wide open, couldn't hang on.
Bit of a waste down for Damon Allen when he only has inches to go for the first down. He's at the top of the screen, number 1, does sort of curl in and then back to the outside, and he has some room to run. It's a one-on-one in the open field and just can't hang on to the football.
So now on 3rd and less than a yard, the Lions will bring in the big people. Jamie Terrace is out there now, along with Wayne Drinkwalter, number 51. Johnny Scott will line up in the backfield, number 72. Dave Ewell calls a halt to the proceedings. And what would be the problem?
Well, maybe he's saying, you sure you want Johnny Scott in the backfield? That's a big fullback.
And now Ewell has satisfied himself that everything's fine, so they'll go back in the huddle and do it all over again.
Adam Rita says, yes, I do want Johnny Scott back there, so let's go.
Lions almost had too many men on the field. They just got Brad Yamoka off the field. They've got 12 out there now.
Want to leave a dime in?
And they've still got to get this sorted out. Oh, they're going to give the Lions more time on the 22nd clock. That's the problem. There were 8 remaining when Dave Ewell called a halt to the proceedings. 12-17 to play here in the 4th quarter. The Lions threatening. It's 3rd and less than a yard. And now they reset the 22nd clock.
Is it Damon Allen right or Damon Allen left?
And the delay continues. 10 seconds, it says now. All that for 2 seconds. Took 2 minutes to get 2 seconds. 3rd and a yard. Allen's got it easily. It'll be 1st and goal Lions from the 7.
It's Damon Allen right, and a good surge from the right side of that offensive line. Todd Burdick, Corey Mantika in there to help out. You see the good surge right there. That's a 3-yard surge. Big number 59, Todd Furtick, and Wayne Drinkwalder helping out from the tight end position. And there's no way Damon Allen can't get it on that surge.
All right, 1st and goal now from the 7-yard line. Lions down by 13. Allen to the end zone. Thompson can't hang on. Willie Hampton was there on the coverage and was able to break it up at the last second. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 7.
He did a good job of getting the arm in there at the last second because Larry Thompson had timed his jump. He goes up and over, but Hampton gets that left arm in there just at the right time to pull it free.
Now 2nd and goal from the 7. 5 receivers. Empty backfield for Allen. Here comes the rush. Allen, Philpott, touchdown! Corey Philpott from 7 yards out. Finally, the Lions have a major.
Nothing fancy about this play. Get it to your best back and see what he can do with it. Just a quick out to Corey Philpott. He's got the matchup they're looking for. Catches it, that's into the end zone.
Lou Pasaglia on now for the point after. And the BC Lions have stubbornly made a game of it. Lou Pasaglia has missed only 2 converts in his career. And he's not about to miss here. And now at the other end of the field.
Oh, we got the clock on him.
Here he goes, the guy climbing the pole. I'll tell you what, the Lions went so long without scoring. I think he's climbing petrified wood here. Here he goes.
Go.
12:23. How was that compared to last week?
You know what? That's a 1.5 seconds longer than it took him to get up there last week, but he might be stiff. He might be a little sore on the side. He hasn't stretched out. He hasn't been worked yet. He's not warmed up. He's warm now. I bet you he beats his time if the Lions get in the end zone again.
Well, I'll tell you, one of those games where a team scores like 3 touchdowns in a minute, that'd kill that guy. That'd kill that guy.
Just a quick out pattern, but the delivery and the timing is what's important. A little rub play right there. Corey Philpott breaks open, and Eddie Davis can't fight through the pick or rub, if you're asking Damon Allen. Here comes the rub. You'll see Larry Thompson go down and rub on Eddie Davis right there. He can't fight through it. Philpott picks it up, gets in the end zone.
7-yard touchdown for Corey Philpott, who set the CFL record for touchdowns in a season 2 years ago with 22. Last year, he scored only 3.
And he wasn't in there a lot of times last year on that short yardage situation down there.
Kickoff is taken by Terry Vaughn at his 15-yard line. Vaughn fights his way up to the 28. And the BC Lions, down by 6, get a big play from their special teams, and now the Lions crowd is back into it. Corey Philpott's back into it. It's up to the Calgary Stampeders to quiet this crowd here at the stadium at BC Place. What a drive, though, by the Lions. Larry Thompson with the big catch. Alfred Jackson, too, made a nice grab. And it's all capped off by Corey Philpott's 7-yard touchdown catch. It took 3 minutes and 44 seconds to go 82 yards.
You think Calgary's feeling a little deja vu right now with the different colored jerseys?
Calvin Anderson on the carry. Out across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Maurice Kelly and David Mama make the stop. It's a gain of 4. Well, I'll tell you what, after Calgary drove the ball downfield in his first possession and scored so easily, you thought this game might end up 40-0. But the Lions defense really held them in. And now, Calgary's lead is just 6. Garcia, big second down play, wants to run. Now throws it. Terry Vaughn has the catch out to the 46-yard line. I'm not sure what play they called there, but that's not how they drew it.
Nope, that was the Jeff Garcia scramble and make something happen play, and he does a good job of buying time. He's not necessarily a great runner when he gets in the open field, but he scrambles well, he buys time, and he did it on that play.
13-yard pickup gives Calgary a first down. 9.5 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Runs right into Tyrone Chapman and friends. And Chapman drives him down after maybe a yard.
Want to see a perfect form tackle for any kids watching this game? This is a perfect form tackle by a linebacker. As Tyrone Chapman comes up and sticks his head in there, he does a nice job of pulling down Kelvin Anderson. Here it comes right here. Comes to the outside. Now watch this. Low, throws the hips in there, gets the head right in the numbers. Down goes Kelvin Anderson.
Second and long again for Calgary. 6 receivers out there. Garcia steps up, gets it away. Rogers. Oh, can't hang on. Good play by Frank Pimmisker. Joseph Rogers was wide open.
And I think it was a good play because I think he just distracted Rogers enough so he couldn't see the ball when it was about to be caught. First of all, Garcia does a pretty good job of avoiding the rush, but here's the end of the play, and that hand, that right hand by Pimmisker, I think just distracted Rogers enough, and he drops that one, but he was in behind the young halfback.
Tony Martino will be forced to punt. Larry Thompson and Corey Philpott back deep to receive, and who'd have thunk it? The Lions could take the lead. A good kick away. This is Thompson from the 16. And he is dragged down immediately. Eddie Davis with another big tackle on special teams. The Lions have the ball back and will return to Vancouver right after this. While lots of teams dominate in stadiums, the problem for the BC Lions, the Calgary Stampeders dominate here. 12 straight, and the last time overall that the BC Lions beat the Calgary Stampeders was in the Western Final in 1994 at McMahon Stadium. Remember that day, how cold it was?
I remember this catch for sure.
Danny McManus and Darren Flutie. Flutie made an even bigger catch moments before that to get BC a first down, but that's the last time BC Lions beat Calgary in the regular season. Calgary's won the last 12 regular season meetings, and Anthony McClanahan puts the stick on Corey Philpott. Wow.
Anthony McClanahan read the mail there. He was in the backfield just as Philpott was getting the ball. What a hit. Wow. Check out this play. I mean, Philpott gets the ball now. 1,000, bang. 1 second later, he goes down.
I think I'll run over.
Not much time to decide which hole, although there wasn't one, to pick there.
2nd and 13 now for the Lions. Allen trying to get away from Marvin Pope. Does. Now Allen, room to run. Still going out across the 20. Gets to the 23. That'll leave him 4 yards short of a BC first down. BC will be forced to punt.
Marvin Pope made the play on that one. Quickness alone. He got so far upfield, Damon Allen had to cut underneath and really had nowhere to go.
7 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. The Lions and Calgary Stampeders engaged in quite a battle. I'm talking to Wally Buono yesterday and talking about the Western Division. You know, in the last few years, Calgary's finished first 5 years in a row with records like 15-3. Wally thinks 12-6, 11-7 could win the West this year.
Yeah, there's a lot of parity in the league. There's a lot of talent in the league, and it's, you know, we're seeing it. The 2 games that I've worked on have been real close down to the last 2 minutes.
One of these 2 teams tonight will be 0-2 to start the season and bitterly disappointed with it. Sagna, great punt. Terry Vaughn from the 38-yard line. Gets away from the first man, but he's finished off on a nice special teams play by Brad Yamoka. Calgary has the lead and the ball when we come back. Already there, you and I will join him tomorrow. Here, the Calgary Stampeders nursing a 16-10 lead. Jeff Garcia's in trouble, and he is down. Dave Chaders got there, and he got a whole lot of help.
He sure did. That was a team meeting in the Calgary backfield. Joe Fleming, Chaders, Johnny Scott, Virgil Robertson. Let's see, I'll tell it straight. Here's how many guys were in on that play. That's a big circle. They were all down there. Look at the flood of black jerseys.
You know what? It almost looked like a screen pass, except it wasn't.
That was the lookout block by the Calgary offensive line. They turn around and say, look out!
Loss of 10, 2nd and 20. Big defensive play now for the Lions. Garcia over the middle and almost intercepted Dave Donaldson. Got there along with Robert Holland. The pass ball is incomplete. Dave Donaldson, a free agent out of the University of Manitoba, making his CFL debut tonight. And comes up with a big play.
And I'm not sure if he's quite clear on exactly how big of a play it was. He just told to drop back there in the middle of the field, and when the ball is in the air, go and find it. He hasn't really been here all that long, and look at this.
Great play.
Great range by David Donaldson. You think Adam Rita's going to be taking a long look at him and maybe being a free safety here in the future?
He wasn't drafted. They got him as a free agent out of the University of Manitoba. Martino to punt. Al Shipman's back there along with Corey Philpott. They've been kicking it away from Shipman. But this time he'll get a chance. From the 30. Shipman run down quickly by Ray Bernard, Eddie Davis, and others. A 50-yard punt, a 5-yard return. The Lions have the ball with 5:14 to play in the fourth quarter. 5:14 to play in the fourth quarter. Calgary with a 6-point lead on the BC Lions. The 2 quarterbacks have avoided throwing interceptions, but they've also avoided throwing much for touchdown passes. Each has one in a game free of turnover.
And Jeff Garcia, though, with that 332 yards and throwing the ball quite well, would like to have come away with more points, because now it's a game and we're looking for could be a big finish here, and BC has the football, so you know you're going to look at that film and think you needed more points in the game.
From the 35, Allen sidearms it out there for Alfred Jackson. Look out! Nice play by Eddie Davis to contain Jackson, who threw a second move at him and got out to the 43-yard line.
Well, Alfred Jackson has done a couple things. When he went deep that first time, it opens things up for him. He's this receiver right down here in the bottom of your screen. Once you go deep and are successful, your defensive backs will back off, and you can see the cushion there by William Hamilton was about 15 yards.
Gain was 8. It's 2nd and 2. Allen from the shotgun. Steps up, delivers, wide open. Jackson, first down in the Calgary territory at the 48-yard line. a sudden they figured out that Alfred Jackson's pretty good.
Yeah, he didn't do a whole lot in the first game against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. But he's right here on your screen. He's going to cut underneath. And Damon Allen, after buying time and getting some pretty good protection from that front five of BC Lions, looks to the backside, and Jackson found a way to get open.
Asking a lot to have Darryl Hall cover a guy like Alfred Jackson. World-class speed. First down, Lions. Allen steps up, looking for Jackson again underneath. That time the pass was behind him, incomplete. Allen was getting all kinds of pressure from Dwayne Patterson. It'll be second down.
Well, Alfred Jackson, we talked about earlier, was in Winnipeg, and when he was there in 1993 and 94, he played both ways. He was a cornerback and a receiver, and his best year as a receiver was in 94 when he had just under 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns. So lots of game film on Alfred Jackson. Adam Rita happy to have him.
In 1994, he caught 7 passes for Winnipeg, 4 of them for touchdowns. That's a nice average.
Not a bad average.
Second down, Allen. Thompson, did he make the catch? Yes, what a grab.
What a catch.
33-yard line right in front of Wally Buono.
This is concentration by Larry Thompson. Action Jackson on one side, the playmaker on the other, and Watson concentration coming right at you as Thompson with one hand pulls that one in.
You only need 1 foot inbounds in the Canadian Football League. Thompson got them both down just to be safe. A gain of 15, and the drive continued. Trevathan was miles offside. Flags fly. And the play is stopped. Larry Thompson and Mike Trevathan both jumped there.
Yeah, and you know what they were doing? Mike Trevathan saw safety Greg Knox coming from his deep safety position on the blitz, and he was pointing at him and yelling at Damon Allen.
Call Thompson.
And as he was yelling, he forgot that, oh yeah, I got to listen for the snap count.
Oh yeah, I'm running. We've reached the 3-minute warning here in Vancouver. The Calgary Stampeders have the lead, but the Lions are driving. Another great finish. We'll find out when we come back. Last week, Adam Rita's team had the lead late, but lost to Saskatchewan, while Wally Buono's team had the lead late and lost to the Edmonton Eskimos. Now they're involved in another nail-biter in week 2, and somebody's going to 0-2. First and 15 for the Lions from the Calgary 38. Allen swings it out for Philpott. Beats the first man. Philpott still going. First down to the 15-yard line. Corey Philpott takes the swing pass, makes 2 guys miss, and goes 23 yards.
He doesn't get a whole lot of room out there. You're going to see him flash out here. Darryl Hall's breaking up. Ray Bernard, who's in at the middle linebacker, is trying to chase him down, but he has tremendous speed to the outside, and neither one can catch him.
First down, 10 yards to go from the 15. And all of a sudden, this Lion offense springs to life. Quarterback draw.
Oh, what a call.
Inside the 5, another first down as he gets to the 4. And he first and goal from there. And now some pushing and shoving breaks out. Well, the BC Lions would be ill-advised to take a penalty here.
No.
With a first and goal situation.
What a call, though, by Adam Rita. Or Damon Allen. We're not quite sure who called that one. He usually lets Damon Allen call most of his plays, but says I throw in the odd one. What a great call for Damon Allen. Same formation as the Corey Philpott play. No backs in the backfield. A designed call with Damon Allen just following the block of Chuck Bradley on Ray Bernard right in the middle. And you saw right at the end of the play where Greg Knox took a swipe at him, and that's where all the fighting started. Allen breaks up the middle. Knox comes up late, and he takes a swipe at him right there. You just barely saw it at his elbow, and that's when the fighting began.
There's an injured Calgary Stampeder on the play. Looks like Kenton Leonard is the injured player. What a football game we've had here again At the stadium at BC Place, the Lions have rushed the ball for just 32 yards, but their defense has really kept them in the football game. Jeff Garcia is having a very efficient evening, passing 66%.
Look at that one.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's the one we were talking about earlier. Jeff Garcia is not coming away with points, even though he is moving the ball effectively.
Vince Danielson and Terry Vaughn each have 7 catches. Gerald Wilcox does not have a catch in the football game. And for the BC Lions, the story of this game is really the fact that they did nothing offensively in the first 3 quarters of the football game.
Well, and that BC Lion defense has done a nice job of bending a little bit on Jeff Garcia and not breaking. And you saw that with that stat regarding the points.
2:16 to play here in the 4th quarter. Kent Leonard makes his way off the field. That'll force the Lions, the Stampeders, rather, to make some defensive adjustments. Again, remember that Al Jordan is already out of the football game, so William Hampton's playing the corner. Now Roger Wrightson will come in to replace Kent Leonard. And this was the story of week 1. Both teams lost by 1. Somebody's going to be 0-2, and they're going to feel legitimately like they deserve better. First and goal, BC from the Calgary 4. Talk about storylines developing.
Exactly.
The BC Lions talked about this from last week, their inability to score on short yardage. The panel touched on it earlier. They use Corey Philpott in the backfield with Johnny Scott. They don't use Sean Millington. Now, Millington's specialty was short yardage, but they put Johnny Scott, big number 72, in the backfield with Corey Philpott. And the Lions will hope their goal line offense can fire here.
Now, Gord, Adam Rita told us that Corey Philpott was taking the handoffs a little shallow last week and wasn't having the opportunity to make the cut. They backed him up. You see big Johnny Scott back there to lead block for him. Philpott will back up and see if he can make the move now.
Millington's out there too. Allen straight ahead. Touchdown!
Calgary defense guessing with Corey Philpott deep. They were thinking the ball was going there. Damon Allen took it on the sneak.
Pasaglia puts the point after up and good. The Lions lead, and here he goes again.
12:23 is the time to beat.
Way slower.
He's looking a little. He couldn't be tired. Oh! A little longer. Lost some time there. He's not as pumped as the BC Lions are right now, I don't think.
I like that.
That's a good deal.
The horse in Calgary's pretty good. The fire engine in Edmonton is good.
Don't bring up the horse in Calgary. I have nightmares of that thing.
There were days when you thought you were at the Kentucky Derby. That horse went up and down there so much. And this time the goal line play works for the Lions because it's not hard to draw this one.
Well, when you're thinking that the ball's going to Philpott, you're sort of on your heels as a defense, and that allows the BC Lions offensive line to reestablish the line of scrimmage about a yard deep in the end zone.
You know who was in the middle of that defensive front for the Calgary Stampeders? Big Fred Childress, the offensive guard. They got him out there on the goal line defense.
And after that, he may want to stay on the offensive side of the ball.
Brett Anderson to kick it off for the Lions. 1:42 to play in the 4th quarter. Lots of time for Calgary. Terry Vaughn from the 13-yard line. Vaughn out across the 35 to the 38-yard line. Sean Millington up to help make the stop. A 25-yard return. Now Jeff Garcia finds himself in a different role. He'll try to bring his team back in the final moments. As Damon Allen caps off an impressive 8-play, 75-yard drive. And no shortage of key plays on that drive. You think of Larry Thompson with the juggling catch at the sideline. That was a big one. The first CFL catch made by Andrew English. All kinds of himself at Garcia and actually bumped him forward.
You know, what's surprising me, Gord, is that Garcia cannot find a receiver downfield, and this is a secondary for BC that has two backups playing right now in Frank Pimmiskern and Dave Donaldson, and it's really surprising that the Calgary receivers are not getting open.
Clock running, under a minute and a half to go. The crowd becoming a problem for Calgary. Garcia over the middle. Danielson first down to the Calgary 50. And Danielson has something to say to the BC Lions. First pick up of 8 yards and another Calgary first down.
Well, maybe he was saying it to me. I just said they weren't getting open, and he did. Yelled up here. Hey, Glenn, how about that one?
Clock running. Garcia facing a 4-man rush. Looking for Wilcox. The pass was behind him. Incomplete. Leonard Humphreys was there on the coverage for BC. It'll be second down.
Well, Leonard Humphreys was over top, so Garcia had to throw it a little bit behind Wilcox and hope that he made the adjustment, and he couldn't. You'll see Wilcox right on the numbers there on the side. He cuts into the middle. Leonard Humphreys is going to break on it. The ball just thrown behind him.
Second down. Quarterback draw. And Garcia has the first down into BC territory at the 48-yard line. And what's good for one is more than good for the other.
Well, it was a great call when Damon Allen ran it down the other end of the field. Why not take one out of their playbook? And Garcia can get it done. You know, he's a good scrambler. He calls the play, takes off, and you know that BC defensive front four is trying to get after him. That creates lanes.
From the 48 on first down, Garcia was looking for Travis Moore, but he fell. And you know who was there on the coverage? Joe Fleming, defensive lineman number 76.
Well, that's a matchup that I think favors the Calgary Stampeders, and that's no slight on Joe Fleming, who is a good pass rusher. But I don't know that he can run with Travis Moore, and Travis Moore just stumbled, and that could have been a big play for Calgary.
Second and 10.
This is the game.
Garcia, lots of time. Wilcox makes the catch. No, he does not. And was well short of a first down anyway. It'll be third and 10. What does Wally want to do? Be a long field goal try. Be a 55-yard field goal try.
Well, we got a great look at it. Let's see if it was a catch or not. Wilcox runs the out pattern. It's going to come right at you. It's a long throw, and you throw that wide field out, and there it goes. Squirts out of the bottom.
Calgary calls timeout. 30 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Down by a point with the ball at the 48. Do they try the field goal? Do they need another first down to get there? I'll tell you what, if you're a BC Lion fan, you have seen this movie way too many times. From 1996, think about the BC Lions. In games decided by 3 points or less, the Lions had 6 of them. They were 1-5. Calgary was almost as bad. Hamilton and Winnipeg were 4-0. Last year, the BC Lions lost 7 games in which the winning points were scored in the final 4 minutes. It's already happened to them once this year.
Fortunately for the Lions, Adam Rita wasn't the coach, so maybe that attitude will change things for them.
Mark McLaughlin remains on the sideline. Now another problem for BC. Frank Pimmiskern, number 18, is shaken up. Dave Donaldson, number 10, comes in. And playing the corner for the BC Lions is number 7, Alfred Jackson. The wide receiver will play corner. He's at the top of your screen as you look at it. He's facing Terry Vaughn. There's Donaldson. He's playing safety. Garcia. Lots of time. Has a man, Rogers. And he's got a first down to the 33-yard line. Joseph Rogers with a big catch as Calgary goes gambling and continues the drive.
Well, it really is the mass unit, and you'd think with all the backups in there. He's right in the middle of your screen, right here, sits down in the zone, and Garcia finds him, and then it's just a scramble to get to him. Greg Frere's back in the game and playing injured because they just ran out of bodies.
Jackson is now playing the corner at the bottom of your screen. They give it up to Kelvin Anderson. And not much doing there. Wally Buono maybe just trying to position the football for the field goal try, and here it comes. 8 seconds to go. Mark McLaughlin comes on with the field goal unit. Dave Dickinson is the holder. It will be a 40-yard field goal try to win the game. The single point would tie it.
Well, last year McLaughlin's longest was 52 yards, and of course he led the CFL in scoring, so it's well within his range. And obviously weather not a factor today.
Clock winds down. BC will now call timeout to try to ice the kicker. Mark McLaughlin has made more than 80% of his field goals over the last 3 years. But of course, we talked about it earlier. There has been so much on his mind. His father passed away last week. Mark admitted that it was a very difficult time for him. He flew back just before the game last week. Said he was anxious to get back and playing football, get back to doing what he does best. And this is what he does best. The game on the line and a chance to win it.
Adam Rita right now, Gord, is just putting together some defensive backs on the field that they may, if McLaughlin were to miss this field goal, might try and get it out. Now, they haven't dropped back yet, so it'll be up to Al Shipman on his own to get this one out if McLaughlin misses it.
No time on the clock. McLaughlin for the win. It's up. Whisked it. Shipman will try to bring it out. And he did so.
He's on the one.
The Lions win it. Shipman got out, and BC wins it.
Farrell Duclair is angry down there. He thinks he made the tackle and kept Shipman in the end zone, but the refs say no go.
What a finish at BC Place. The Lions go to 1-1. The Stamps fall to 0-2. Two teams who both lost in the last minute last week come right down to the wire in week number 2.
Well, we're going to get another look at it. It goes a little bit wide to the right. Al Shipman takes it, but he takes it deep in the end zone. Here comes the kick. It's going to be wide right. Now, Shipman takes it deep. He breaks to his left. Calgary's right, and Farrell Duclair has a shot at him. Alondra Johnson is down there first, but watch 28. He thinks he has him wrapped up short, but Al Shipman reaches the ball across the plane and gets it to the 1-yard line.
And the BC Lions win the football game. Their first win under coach Adam Rita, Eamon Allen, and Jeff Garcia. Talk about another wild finish between these two. 17-16, the Lions win a thriller at BC Place.